afternoon and a warm welcome to the final day of competition here in Strzegom, Poland, the venue for leg 4 of the FEI Eventing Nations Cup in 2024. And it is the show jumping phase that we are going to look forward to this afternoon. The first horse due into the main arena in a little under 30 minutes time. Sweden on top in both the individual and the team standings, bidding to take their first ever win in a Nations Cup event. Is today going to be the day?
Dziękuję bardzo zawodnikom, gratulujemy. A już za chwilę kolejna ceremonia dekoracji do konkursu jednej gwiazdki intro.
So thanks to our prize winners, yes, an excellent win for the unrubbing team for Germany here, but let's struggle with that excellent dressage.
Szanowni Państwo, bardzo prosimy o powstanie, wysłuchajmy hymnu Polski.
Please stand for the national anthem of Poland.
120, nawet 30 lat. Chociaż proszę Państwa sięgnąłem dalej i okazuje się, że rekordzistą jest Old Billy, który dożył 62 lat. No tylko pogratulować oczywiście Old Billemu, ale też jego właścicielowi. Proszę Państwa, z ciekawostek jeszcze, może zastanawiacie się, ile mierzy sobie najwyższy koń. Wała w imieniu Samson jest najwyższym koniem. W wieku 4 lat mierzył 215 cm i ważył 1524 kg. No to proszę Państwa, jak jesteśmy przy najwyższym, to może najmniejszy koń świata. Okazuje się, że jest tym ogier Little Pumpkin rasy Perla, urodzony w 1973 roku. Właśnie zapisał się w historii jako najmniejszy koń świata, mając 2 lata, ważył 9 kg i mierzył 35 cm. Proszę Państwa, nie wiem też, czy zastanawialiście się kiedyś nad tym, ile na przykład koń ma zębów. Okazuje się, że są
Marcher, c'est un poil serré, et toi face au public, ça va Mais par contre, si tu sens qu'il t'emmène un petit peu dedans,
Jeżeli, proszę Państwa, jesteście powstrzymywani gdzieś przez konia albo lekko podgryzani, to proszę się nie obawiać, czy takie zachowanie jest oznaką przyjaźni, to również jedna z ciekawostek. No i jeszcze o uszach chciałem Państwu powiedzieć, bo koń ma bardzo dobre uszy, może obracać je niemal o 180 stopni i to właśnie uszy kieruje zawsze w stronę jakiegoś dźwięku. Proszę Państwa, jeżeli się zastanawiacie nad tym, ile znanych jest ras koń, to muszę Państwu powiedzieć, że ta liczba jest z jednej strony imponująca, a z drugiej zaskakująca. Okazuje się, że na świecie jest 207 ras koni. Oczywiście zaliczamy tutaj wszystkie wierzchowce, również płuce. Dorosły koń, proszę Państwa, no właśnie, jak myślicie, ile czasu może spać dorosły? Okazuje się, że 3 godziny na dobę. Specyficzne umiejscowienie oczu konia powoduje zaś, że tępić prawie wszystko dookoła głowy. Punkty 0, czyli te niedostrzegalne przez konia, są 2 tuż przed jego pyskiem oraz okolice zawodu. To proszę Państwa, tyle z ciekawostek, a wśród jeździeckich rekordów Guinnessa znajdziemy również takie informacje, że najdłuższy koński ogon mierzył sobie 381 cm. Ten rekord pochodzi z 2007 roku i należy do klaczy Summer Breeze. Najszybszy koń na świecie osiągnął prędkość 76 km na godzinę. Polski rekord wynosi 68,2 km na godzinę. I tymi ciekawostkami, proszę Państwa, kończymy przerwę. Proszę nie odchodzić od areny.
Well, a very, very good afternoon and a warm welcome to the final day of competition here in Poland. Strzegom, the venue for leg 4 of the 2024 FEI Eventing Nations Cup. And what a brilliant afternoon we have in store for us. We've had 2 action-packed days of competition so far, and it means that it is going to go down to the wire for both the team and the individual competition this afternoon. Marcin Konowski's cross-country course yesterday certainly shook that leaderboard quite significantly, and it is Sweden's Niklas Lindback out in front in the individual standings. Focus Filiokas, one of only 2 rounds inside the time. He stays on his dressage score of 33.4. Actually leading the Swedish team to be in the lead in the Nations Cup team competition as well. We'll come on to that in a second. In second, Camille Laney Avalone, it would be a huge career personal best for Camille if she can go well this afternoon as well. The fastest round of the day, 37.0, sees her in second. Leah Siegel, DSP Fighting Line. Leah, of course, topped the podium here 12 months ago. That was with Van Helsing P. But DSP Fighting Line, 38.9, currently sitting in third. Stina Arasinius, Lorelei L for Sweden in fourth, and Victoria Knapp Quintus in fifth. Quintus, the best of the Polish combinations. And there's a whole host of big names, to be honest, that had quite a dramatic cross-country round yesterday. Andrew Hoy, Vasily de Lassos, they picked up 11 penalties to drop a little bit down the order. Australia had led after the first phase in the team competition. That young lady, Yulia Kraevsky, in the blue baseball cap, actually led the individual competition. Unfortunately, 20 penalties and some time for her dropped her down the order individually and opened the door for those who had really fast cross-country rounds. That is Andrew Hoy. Big afternoon for him, of course, Olympic qualification on the line. No better man under pressure. He has been to 8 Olympic Games, and a man who's actually very familiar with competing here in Strzegom as well. He will be looking to rise up into the top 10 with Vasily de Lassos, who is normally, touching wood, a very good jumper. So what talk about the team competition for just a second. It is Sweden who actually lead the way. They were down the order as a team after dressage in fourth, but they've moved up with brilliant cross-country rounds from just that. They only had 3 team members, and all 3 of them absolutely delivered to sit inside the top 16, and they are on a does an incredible amount of work, not only here in Strzegom as a venue, but also, it should be said, as eventing as a whole. Very, very good course designer. The French team have only actually fielded a team in 1 leg of the series so far. That was in Montelabretti earlier on this spring. They topped the podium there. In terms of the overall team standings, it's actually going to be change, really, because in terms of the leaderboard, equal at the top of the leaderboard on 180 points apiece. Switzerland and Italy, neither of whom are fielding teams here this weekend. Australia had 140 points, and actually they are 5th of teams here, so they will pick up 60 points, which will take them to 200, so they are most likely to take over the top of the leaderboard. The only way France could equal that is if they topped the podium here this afternoon, which could well still happen. Certainly got to keep an eye on that. So Australia and France, the two that will be picking up big points. Sweden, not yet having fielded a team in the Nations Cup this year, so they will be getting points on the board for the very first time. Germany will build upon their 80 points that they picked up actually in Avanche a few weeks ago. But we'll keep you up to date with those overall team standings as we go. How the competition is going to play out this afternoon is that actually the riders in the individual standings are going to jump first. The individual competitors will all come forwards first of all, including Leah Siegel, who is the highest placed individual, before we work our way through the team riders. Last to jump will be our individual overnight leaders, Nicholas Limbach and Focus Filiokas. Marcin Konowski, the show jumping course designer here as well, has set 12 obstacles, 15 jumping efforts, has elected to go for a double and a treble, and actually the treble comes up as late as fence 9 and then the double at 11, so both of those combinations coming up quite late on in the course. It's always interesting as well here in Strzegom because it's a pretty big arena. The time can certainly prove to be influential. So the scene is set for a brilliant afternoon of competition. Are Sweden going to top the in-team standings in a leg of the FEI Eventing Nations Cup for the very first time? They've won the overall series on a couple of occasions, 2019, and I think it was back in 2022 as well. That is Fred Bergendorf, their chef de keep, you see just there with the Swedish cap on and the sunglasses. Tense afternoon for him and his support staff, because it would be a massive performance for them heading in to, of course, the Olympic Games in a few weeks' time. They picked up their team ticket actually in Protoni, so they have had the luxury last season and this season of not having to chase qualification anywhere. And that makes a real difference. So, getting us underway, one of 14 different nations represented in this Nations Cup class, and it is Luciano Claudio Brunello, Cash de Cedra, at 39.6 their dressage, just 23.2 time penalties yesterday, left them on a score overnight of 62.8, and an important round for this combination as well, because another looking to secure a ticket to those Olympic Games in Paris. Argentina now have 2 individual places available to them. Chile originally picked up one of those individual spots, but the Chilean rider was not able to qualify in time, and therefore the door has been opened for Argentina to send not one but 2 individuals. This man has come over from Argentina, where he's usually based, in order to finish his preparation and bid for a trip to Paris. What a story it would be. needs a minimum eligibility result here in MER, and that is no more than 16 jumping penalties. First rail that we see go, and actually two go in quick succession. The crowds come very, very close to that part of the track there, actually. At 4 and 5. I just wondered, you could see when he came in, actually, he went to show the horse that fence strategically when saluting to our ground jury, and just wonder if he did think that the horse might perhaps just take a closer look. Okay. Slightly nervous moments, cannot afford another pole down in order to maintain that Olympic qualification. So near 3 jumping efforts left to go. Just the one. Oh, the last has gone! Absolute heartbreak for our Argentinian combination. So close. You can see just how devastating that must be, because unfortunately the Olympic dream this year for him is over. Luciano Claudio Brunello, Cash to Cedra. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be, and while they complete here, it does mean that they don't get the Olympic qualification that they were aiming for. It is a tough sport sometimes. So the time allowed of 77 seconds caught them out as well, because 0.8 time penalties, 20.8 in total for them. Next to go, it is Geordie Wilkin, Curacao, another combination also who came here bidding for Olympic qualification. They unfortunately had a missed flag out on the cross country yesterday, and so that dream ended for them as well. The deadline for those Olympic qualifications is tomorrow, the 24th of June, hence the importance of this weekend. We've obviously been following the Nations Cup very heavily, but there are so many different chapters to the story. Good job there in just trying to keep the horse straight. He's a big horse. To the last, Curacao, and again another that might feel what might have been easily inside the time. So just the one pole down gives him a total score of 66.0. So the time allowed will stay the same, because the ground jury do have the first 3 combinations to reassess that time of 77 seconds. However, only they can alter it to within the time that those 3 combinations have been. So as our first combination actually had time penalties, they can't make it any tighter. Next to come forwards is Alexandra Munn and the Spice Merchant on a score of 51.9. Combination completed Bramham a few weeks ago. So went clear cross country and completed Burnham Market this spring, based in the UK. That's 5, the vertical goes. You can see she just pushed for the distance there, and unfortunately it didn't quite pay off. unfortunately. Rails starting to fall. Second part of that double goes as well. It's definitely a course that really tests, particularly in the second half. You see 1.2 time penalties, so 17.2 in total for them.
We went in for Poland, the fantastic Frida. She went to Pavlak here. That was the first time on here back in April. Super cross country yesterday. 51.6 Denmark.
A sygnał startu otrzymała już reprezentantka Polski Joanna Pawlak na wersji 15-letniej klaczy Fantastic Frida.
So, Joanna Pawlak, fantastic Frida next to come into the arena. Combination for Poland. 41.2 their dressage yesterday, 10.4 time penalties competing as individuals. Sees them on a score of 51.6. Actually, that sees them inside the top 20 in 19th place overnight. Has a really unique way of going. Joanna knows her so well, and to a degree lets her have her way of going, which is sometimes just what you've got to do. And certainly she tries. She rubs the last, but it stays, and by far the fastest round we have seen so far. So just one pole down for Joanna Pawlak and fantastic Frida. 4 to add gives her a total of 55.6. And that will see her probably drop just outside the top 20. She goes into the lead in the clubhouse at the moment, will be no worse than 23rd, but of course could well still climb back up. Now, next to come forwards, it is Hwadong Sun, Lady Chin van der Merven Z. Combination on a two-phase score of 51.1. Were excellent yesterday, just had a really late, steady cross-country round. I was going to say they actually had a frangible device on course, but it was his teammate. It was just time penalties for Hwadong, and this is a horse that has been brilliant for him all the way up the levels. They were excellent at the 2-star level, even at the Asian Games last year, but is a real championship horse. Straight goes, just ran a little bit into the bottom of it. She looks super fresh this morning. How wonderful it is to see. These horses will have all gone through another horse inspection this morning in front of the ground jury. Make sure they're fit and well. There are a couple of withdrawals in there. We'll confirm those for you in a moment. Just coming down to the final fence on one pull down. Time's going to be tight as well. Going to run into a time penalty or two. So 4 seconds over the time allowed, 5.6 the total. And that gives them a total score of 56.7. Is going to drop them behind Joanna Pawlak and fantastic Frida. But Lady Chin van der Merven Z has completed. So next to come forward, a combination that were actually individually 4th here 12 months ago. Vera Manninen and Sir Greg. Good dressage of 34.0, left them just inside the top 10. Currently on a score of 46.8, which sees them actually in 12th place on the leaderboard. the individual riders jumping first of all, hence why some of them are coming a little bit out of order. Then we'll go to our team classification riders. Lovely round thus far for this combination. Shows all of the scope over that triple bar. Finland one individual place available at the Olympic Games in Paris. This could well be our first clear round. Vera Meninen and Sir Greg deliver exactly what they delivered 12 months ago here. Just going to sneak a couple of time penalties though. 1.2 to be exact. 48.0 is their total score, and that does actually drop them a couple of places on the leaderboard. Of course, those combinations still to jump, but clear jumping, 1.2 for time for Vera Meninen and Sir Greg for Finland. So next to come forward it is leading rider for Denmark, Peter Flower, and Fascination comes forward on 46.2. This combination were brilliant in the first phase, owned by Peter alongside Jan Juhl. Scored 32.2, which left them in 8th individually. Lovely clear round cross country. Just picked up a handful of time faults. Could equate to that 46.2 total score. Peter, who will be going for those Olympic Games in a few weeks' time. I would imagine this horse is very much his preferred mount as well. Just another to get that yellow oxer at 4. Another horse to come out looking really fresh on the final day, which is just so good to see. They've done so much work on the ground. It really paid off for them. Just the last to go. Time is good, and just the one pole down for Peter Flower, and Fascination is going to drop him handful of places on the leaderboard. He'll go behind Vera Meninen and Sir Greg, finishes the day on 50.2. So just 3 more combinations to come forward in the individual classification before we turn our attentions to the team standings. And it is Pauline Knorr next to come forward, who actually delivered the 3rd fastest round of the day yesterday. 38.9 was her dressage. She was just 4 seconds over the time cross country. Pauline in 6th overnight on a score of 40.5. Riding as individuals for Germany, Evelay, owned by Jutta Thumla, and put in a really lovely cross country round yesterday. She was quick, economical, and very bold. Really nicely done through the line at 4 and 5. Tray catches another. I would imagine imagine the time would be good because she's not been hanging around at all. Just got in a little bit too close to the first part of that treble combination. Unfortunately, the final element went as well. So often the case, if one part goes in a treble, another part will go as well. So just the one to go, and actually going to run into a bit of time as well. So Pauline Nor and Evelay MAF, 13.6 in total for them. That's going to drop them outside of the top 10. And they go on to a total score of 54.1. Will be in third at the moment, but of course still a little way to go. Next to come forward it is Victoria Knapp and Quintus 134, 39.9, their score coming forward. Combination who were pivotal in helping Poland secure their team Olympic qualification in Baborówko in the Olympic Group C qualifier last May. Competing as individuals here this weekend. Dressage, 33.9, left them in 9th place, moved up to 5th overnight. Oh, just got in quite close to that yellow oxer, and unfortunately had the first rail down in front. Moved up to 5th overnight with a clear cross country, one of the faster rounds of the day, 6 time penalties in total. There's a lot of turning back on yourself in this course. Marcin Konowski has set a really challenging track. Still looking for our first faultless round. Had one with just time penalties. Had to work quite hard to the last fence there. 9.6 in total for Quintus and Victoria Knapp. They finish on 49.5, actually go just behind Vera Manninen and Sir Greg, who at the moment are the ones to beat on 48.0. Of course, still a little way to go. Vera now guaranteed a top 10 finish. Now, this lady actually produced a beautiful round here 12 months ago to take the individual honours. It is Leah Siegel with TSP Fighting Line. She won last year with Van Helsing P, but on this horse she won the season opener in Montelibretti last season. This start of this season for her has not been quite so straightforward. She had a bit of time on the sidelines through injury. This horse that she rode in Tokyo 3 years ago went brilliantly there. I think finished top 15 individually. She has the long format qualification in the bag, but she needs this 4-star short as well. A confirmation result at the 4-star short level is required from the 1st of January through to the 24th of June in the Olympic year, and of course the 24th of June is tomorrow, so this weekend really is the last chance saloon. You could tell this horse, who's normally very quick, had 6.8 time penalties yesterday, but had so much left in the tank. Leah really just gave the horse a good confidence building round, didn't take any unnecessary risks. If she can jump clear, she'll be guaranteed a podium. My goodness, a little bit of clever footwork there. You need a horse that is careful, that has a conscience. DSP Fighting Line showed exactly that through that combination. So, Leah Siegel, TSP Fighting Line, if she clears the last, she's guaranteed a podium finish. And my goodness me, she made it look easy, as she did on the cross country yesterday. Leah Siegel, DSP Fighting Line, they didn't come here to top the podium this week. They came here to tick the Olympic qualification box, and they have done it in some style. They're guaranteed at least third place. Our first clear round inside the time allowed comes courtesy of Austria. And watch this young lady in a few weeks' time. What a brilliant performance. Leah Siegel, DSP Fighting Line. The one to beat 38.9 will be her total score. So, next, into the arena. It is the first of our team riders, and it is Casanova de Flatte, Sebastian Atz on a score of 57.4. Currently the drop score for the French team. The French, the only team that actually have 4 members to jump on the final day. So this won't affect the team scores, but France as a nation are in second place individually in the team standings. France only contested one leg of the series so far this year. That was actually in Montelabretti, where they took the top spot at the start of the season. They would have, I think, had a team in Chatsworth, but of course bad weather meant that that didn't happen. Casanova de Flotte, owned by Sebastian himself. 12-year-old. Male in the breeding, same sire as Silly de Lassos, who we'll see in a short while's time. Well, an excellent start for the French team. It is a clear round, and it means that they have that score that they can rely on should it be required. Finish, I believe, on 57.4. We don't have details of their time at the moment. We'll confirm that for you as soon as it comes through. But he looks absolutely delighted with that. So next to come forward, Małgorzata Korycka and Kan Valencia for Poland on a score of 60.5. They are a counting score for the Polish team. This horse that is unbelievably experienced to the championship level, owned by Mita and Yaci Korycka. Score of 60.5, a counting score for the Polish team. The Polish team currently sitting in the team bronze medal position. Poland on a score of 158.3. 2 fences in hand of Germany in 4th. Lovely way that this mare just kicks out her hind feet over a fence. She absolutely loves her job. Naturally very careful. Just the last to go. Should be okay. So just sneaks inside. Oh, doesn't quite sneak inside. 0.4 of a time penalty. But still a brilliant round for Poland. Can Valencia, Malgorzata Krycka just adding 0.4 of a time penalty. They finish on 60.9, and that is just 0.4 to add to the total score for Poland. They stay in the team bronze position at the moment. So, just confirming, Sebastian at Casanova de Flotte also picking up just 0.4 of a penalty. Next of those French riders are coming forward now, and actually this is a score to count. Lorraine Nico and Barandate comes forward on 50.3. Now we were expecting Julia Krajewski to jump next. Great twist dive Z. They're not showing as having withdrawn. So we will just keep an eye on any news there. This is a counting score for the French team, remember, and the French team are close enough actually to Sweden, who lead the way. France on 134.6, Sweden on 122.6, so exactly 3 fences. Just 3.2 time penalties yesterday. Brilliant jumping horse, this. Very quick, but very careful too. And it's interesting actually, the speed is great, but actually just has caused her to take a couple of wider lines at times. She can afford it, but we'll just keep an eye on that clock. It should be fine. Just the last to go. Is this going to be a good clear round for France to put the pressure on Sweden? Yes, it is. She's over the last, and you can see just what it means. A young French team have come here, and so far they have been absolutely brilliant. It is a clear round for Lorraine and Nico Barandate completes on that score of 50.3. So nothing to add. France stay on 134.6. Next to come forward, it is the first of our Swedish riders, Clara Leiden Kirali and Sotomayor. They were excellent yesterday. 11.6 time penalties, 49.6 her total score coming forward. Sweden on 122.6 in total. So this is a counting score. Sweden actually only came forward with 3 team members, sitting in 16th place individually. But it feels so much bigger than the individual standings, which are of course important for Sweden this afternoon. But it would be a first team victory in an FEI Eventing Nations Cup leg for Sweden if they can stay on top this afternoon. Still a good way to go. Rub at the second, but it stays. And it's interesting, horses just aren't reading that yellow oxet quite as I think some of the riders might expect, and I wonder if the shadow of the tree just plays its part. So 2 rails down, they stay ahead of France at the moment, but another rail down and Sweden would go equal with France. Can't afford any more. So, time is going to be pretty tight. I would think. 77 seconds the time allowed. Should be okay. Ah, the last goes as well. That is very frustrating for Sweden. So 12 jumping means that Clara finishes individually on a score of 61.6. That puts her in 11th place at the moment. However, it means that in terms of the team, both have had one of their counting scores jump. They're both on 134.6. Right, take a breath. We'll come back to the team standings in a moment. Australia, unfortunately, only with 2 riders to jump on the final day. Kevin McNabb not going cross-country yesterday, and they only had 3 to start with, so out of the team competition. But Andrew Hoy comes forward with Vasily Delassos, the individual bronze medalist from Tokyo. Andrew been to 8 Olympic Games in his career, bidding to make it 9, but does need a qualification result here this weekend. So to complete his MER, he wants no more than 16 jumping penalties. Team Olympic gold medalist. Took the individual silver at Sydney Games in 2000 as well. This horse usually very good in this phase. It's a tough track in there. Just the last to go. Andrew Hoy, Vasily Delassos, can they secure that Olympic qualification? Yes, they can. Very, very easily done. Vasily Delassos putting in a faultless performance there, and every bit the champions that they are. So they will move up into a top 10 position. 47.1. They stay on that 2-phase score. Just had that 11 penalties cross-country, which is a real shame actually, because that would have seen them, that have then gone in and jumped a clear round today. Obviously time dependent, they could well have been on top of the podium, certainly with an individual placing. So watch this space for the next few weeks for them. But now we turn our attentions to the next of the Polish riders. This is Robert Pawala, Tosca del Castagno. 51.7. Their score coming forwards. Poland, remember, on a score of 158.7. Still looking to see if we could bring you any news of Yulia Krajewski and Great Twist Dive Z. They're still not showing as withdrawn, but they should have jumped by now, so that would obviously affect the German team score as well. So coming down the final line on that clear round, Robert Pawala, counting score for Team Poland, is going to just pick up a time penalty or two though. 77 seconds the time allowed, and it is going to be 1.6 time penalties for him, but a clear jumping round, which is an excellent result. And actually, I think that will see the Polish team with 2 clear rounds, just a few time penalties to add to their total score. They move on as a team total to 160.3. So, You can see him just pointing down there at the horse. What appreciation. These great animals. We're so fortunate to be able to enjoy them. So many of them absolutely adore their jobs. As next to come forwards, it is Majona Zeibel and Chiquita for Germany. Now, unfortunately, Pia Loiber's withdrawal overnight had Germany down to only 3 team members anyway. Yulia Krajewski is yet to jump, so unless coming significantly out of order, that would mean that Germany would just be down to the 2 members now, so that takes them out of the hunt for a team placing rise. However, we will of course confirm that as we go. Chiquita, 54.9 as a two-phase score. So individually was sat just outside the top 20. Coming into the show jumping, and would obviously rise with a clear round. She is going to pick up time penalties though. 77 seconds, remember the time allowed. 0.4 of a penalty for every second or part second over. And is going to be 2.8 time penalties to add for Germany. And Chiquita, Majona Zeibel, though still a very good clear round. Jumping, left all of the coloured poles up. It is just going to be 2.8 time penalties for their total. So, next to jump, it is the next of the French team. This is again an important round for France. Marie Bouquinville and Captain Charles. France and Sweden now equal, both on 134.6, both with 2 riders left to jump. So, poles would relieve the pressure on Sweden. It is going down to the wire here. 47.3, they were in 13th coming into the final show jumping phase. Okay, so one has gone. Just got him really quite close to that. And another to be claimed by the yellow oxer. Now, if she has another pole, in fact, yes, if she has another pole, then they would take the score of Sebastian Att, who's on a score of 57.8, and would drop her score. Time is going to be a challenge as well. Just the last go, going to sneak into the odd time penalty too. And the last goes also. So 13.2 in total, which is going to give Marie a score of 60.5. And that means that they are now going to count the score of Sebastian Att on 57.8. So France will move on to a team score of 145.1. At the moment, eyes turn to Sweden. Sweden on that score of 134.6. France have just relieved the pressure slightly. Kristina Arthros-Senius. Lorelei L, 39.6, their score coming forwards. It is a counting score for Sweden, as I say, but they're well placed individually also in 4th overnight. And it's fascinating, when the clouds come over, you can really see the difference going down that line with that yellow ochre. And actually the sun was out there, but you could see the dappling that the trees make, and I think that might just be what's causing one or two of them just to not read it quite as well as the riders might have hoped. Fred Bergendorf, chef de keep for the Swedish team, was unbelievably proud, I'm sure, of his 3 riders yesterday. Right, middle part of the combination has gone. Individually, that takes her to 42.9, so keeps her inside the top 10. Hold down wouldn't be a disaster. Just the last to go. The time is good. And I think the last stayed, so inside the time, 1 pole down for Lorelei L, and she'll stay on 43.6. So that will still see her finish inside the top 4 individually herself, which is great news for her. But also it means that Sweden just have 1 pole to add and are still a pole in front of France. So as we head into the final rotation of team riders, let's just remind ourselves. Sweden, 138.6 ahead of France, 145.1. Both have their final rider left to jump. Poland are back in the team bronze, 160.3. Australia and Germany, we believe, both not completing with teams. Australia only had 2 coming into today anyway, and we haven't seen Yulia Krajewski jump, and so it looks like Germany will also be down to 2. Right, now jumping. Grace Kay for Australia, Bluefields for cello on that score of 44.8. They were brilliant yesterday, this combination. Just 12 time penalties to add to a good dressage score. Show jumping wouldn't always be this horse's favourite phase. It's also totally different jumping on the final day. Unfortunately, the pole's starting to fall in relatively quick succession now. Fall down for Grace Kay as she comes to the last, and unfortunately the last goes as well. Shake of her head, 20 to add. And going to be a time penalty as well, so 20.4 for her as a total score. So that is going to drop her out of the individual standings as well, takes her to a total of 65.2. Just 4 combinations left to go. The first of those will be for Poland, then we have Germany, France and Sweden. Paweł Boszkowski, Lucinda Exani first to go for Poland, 46.1 their total score. Poland actually topped the podium here in the Nations Cup back in 2022 with their home leg of the series. Lucinda Exani, another horse that helped Poland to that Olympic qualification. Poland in the team bronze position at the moment on a score of 160.3. And Actually, their first two team riders both jumping clear, just with a couple of time penalties. They'll be very pleased with that, especially heading into, you know, Olympic Games where there's 2 rounds of show jumping. Of course, a long way to go before then, but it's still very reassuring to see your riders coming out on the final day and delivering under pressure. He clears the last 2 down, just sneaks inside at the time. So Paweł Boszkowski will go on to a score of 52.1. And that is going to give the Polish team a total score of 54.1, beg your pardon, his total score, 168.3. So Poland have guaranteed themselves a podium finish. They will take team bronze or better. Now we go to Germany's Heike Janka and Mighty Spring FRH. 45.5 their score coming forwards, and actually would be pretty well placed individually as well. Could be no worse than 5th with a clear round here. Getting confirmation, Julia Krajewski, great twist dive Z, have withdrawn, so Germany are just down to the 2 riders. We thought that would be the case, but that is now official on the scoreboard. So Germany also completing with just 2 riders. Scope this horse, and again another to look really fresh on this final day. Huge compliment to Martin Konowski, the course designer, and his team on their work on the ground. Unfortunately, the planks just go behind. They've actually jumped relatively well today. Should be okay for time. The last goes also though, so 12 jumping to add. Will drop Heike Janka outside of the top 10. She will complete on a score of 57.5 and will go into 13th at the moment. So, 2 left to jump. 1 for France, 1 for Sweden. In terms of the team standings, we're going to see our French rider first, Camille Laney-Avalot, on that score of 37.0. Clear inside the time yesterday with the fastest round of the day. Normally a horse that would be a pretty good jumper in this phase. France on 145.1, Sweden on 138.6. So Sweden have 1 pole in hand. If Camille can jump clear, then that will really put the pressure on Nicholas Limbach, Focus Filiokas left to go. Any poles just give him that extra little bit of breathing space. Of course, if she jumps clear, then she gives herself an individual podium here as well, which would be a massive career personal best for her. Just electing to go round that Oxer, the final fence. We've seen quite a few just cutting inside, just giving herself a little bit more space. Individual standings, you can see she's already quickly trying to make up some time. She's got 4 seconds in theory in hand of Leah Siegel's ESB Fighting Line, who are currently the clubhouse leaders. They're on 38.9, Camille on 37.0. She is keeping travelling, which makes such a difference. And such a cool little jumper, this horse. Was brilliant in the cross country yesterday. Did a good job there, was patient. time is going to be tight, but if she keeps travelling to the last, should go okay. Brilliant performance from France, and from this young lady. She has done all she can do. Camille Leni and Avalone will be no worse than second. What a story it would be for this young lady. 37.0, pressure on Nicholas Lindback, the last to go. Pressure on Sweden. So, team total for France, they will take the team silver at worst. They stay on 145.1. Nicholas Lindback comes forward on 33.7, cannot afford a rail to hold on for the win, but he can afford a rail for Sweden to hold on for the team win. So, one of Sweden's most decorated, experienced riders has the weight of a nation on his shoulder. A clear round secures him and Sweden the top spot. One pole down, and he will drop a couple of places individually on the leaderboard, but Sweden will still take the win. More than one rail down, so 2 rails down, and France will take the win. Oh, one has gone. Okay, so Camille Leni is going to be our individual winner. What about Sweden's team hopes? He's just dropped one place individually. Cannot afford another rail for Sweden to take their first ever Team Nations Cup victory here. Now, in terms of time, he has got a little bit to play with. Oh no, another has gone, so France will take the victory. And heartbreak for Sweden. They will still take the team silver. But my goodness, it has gone down to the wire here in Strzegom. 2 poles down for Nicholas Lindback and Focus Filiokas. And unfortunately, it wasn't to be. They take individual 3rd place just ahead of their teammates, but it was ultimately brilliant show jumping rounds from the French team that have secured them at the top spot in the team leaderboard. We'll just get those scores for you. Do check the official scoreboards, of course, for confirmation. But it went down to the absolute wire, and it is the closest of finishes. Heartbreak for Sweden. They will have to settle for team silver. Let's just remind you of the individual standings. It is a career best win for Camille Leni and Avalone. They finished on that dressage score of 37.0, the only horse in the field to do so. Finish ahead of last year's winner, Leah Siegel, DSP Fighting Line, securing their Olympic qualification, 38.9 in second. Nicholas Lindback, Focus Filiokas, 3rd place for them, 41.4. Christina Arasinius, Lorelei L, also for Sweden, 43.6 in 4th. Andrew Hoy, Vasily de Lassos move up to 5th for Australia. So that is the top 5 in the individual standings. Best placed Polish rider, actually Victoria Knapp, Quintus 134 in 7th. In the team standings, my maths, and as I say, please do check the official scoreboards, but my maths make it that France have taken the win, 145.1, ahead of Sweden, 146.6. It really was extraordinarily close. Poland rounding out the top 3, 168.3. And what a brilliant performance from all of those riders. It has been the most brilliant final day of competition. Unfortunately, Germany and Australia both finishing with just 2 riders apiece. And so, while that will see Australia move up into the top 2 on the overall Nations Cup standings, France have now contested 2 legs and won 2 legs. Absolutely brilliant from them. And so they now take their team totals in the overall standings to 2 100 points. And of course, the Nations Cup Series next heads to Avanches into Belgium in August. But the most brilliant finish here in Strzegom, it has been thrills and spills throughout the whole weekend. The leaderboard has been moving all over the place, and ultimately it is the faultless jumping performance of the young French rider Camille Laney and Avalon, who finished on that dressage score of 37.0, moved up from 20th after dressage to take the win and to lead the French team to glory. The most brilliant performance from them all, just ahead of a home Olympic Games. My goodness, we are in for a treat over the coming weeks. I do hope you've enjoyed all of the coverage on FEI.tv. Of course, there will be lots more in store for you over the coming months, so do stay tuned. But from us here in Strzegom, that is all we have got time for. The prize giving will be shown, so please do stay and watch that if you would like to do so. That'll be in around 15 minutes time. But from me, a big thank you for watching and a huge congratulations to Camille Laney and of course the victorious French team.
Kozacy wykorzystywali te umiejętności podczas walk. Dziś sztuka ta wzbudza wielkie emocje wśród publiczności, a także przenosi nas jakby w czasie i pomaga przywołać historię z jednej strony tak nam odległą, a z drugiej strony tak bliską. Wszystkie elementy tej odmiany woltyżerki jeździec wykonuje na galopującym koniu. Należą do nich m.in. zeskakiwanie, przeskakiwanie przez konia, obroty na koniu, podnoszenie leżącej na ziemi czapki, czy też zwisanie z boku konia. Jest to niezwykle efektowne, a przyznam szczerze Państwu, że chwilami również zapierające dech w piersiach widowisko, które już za chwil kilka się rozpocznie. Tak jak Państwu obiecaliśmy, dzisiaj dzień się jeszcze nie skończył, jeszcze mnóstwo atrakcji na nas ciągle czeka, a tak chyba najbardziej zapierające dech w piersiach jeszcze ciągle przed nami. Panowie na tak zwanym backstage'u dają znak, że to już prawie koniec, jeżeli chodzi o przygotowanie doru. Panowie z grupy apolinarskiej w tej chwili sprawdzają jeszcze prawidłowość przygotowania tego toru po to, żeby cały pokaz przebiegł w sposób bezpieczny dla jeźdźców, dla koni, ale również dla Państwa.
Dzień dobry ponownie. Szanowni Państwo, domyślamy się, że emocje sięgają już zenitu.
A ja wykorzystam moment, będąc proszę Państwa na tym backstage'u, bo obok mnie przesympatyczna dama o imieniu Pani Ewo, Pani za chwilę zaprezentuje jeden z pokazów. W tej chwili próbuję tutaj okiełznać dwa konie. Jak z tego się bawią?
Jeden to jest płuco karbonowane.
Skąd tak naprawdę to taki imiona?
A nie wiem, to Paweł wybrał.
No jedno to nawet się jakoś kojarzy. O, jeden sympatycznie mnie tutaj popchnął na przywitanie. Pani Ewa świetnie sobie radzi. Pani Ewo, co zobaczymy za chwilkę właśnie na arenie?
Nasz system kaskaderowy mamy
Miejsce głównej naszych zawodów.
Proszę Państwa, to jest zapowiedź tutaj z backstage'u. Wszystko prawie gotowe.
Sam jak na próbie ujeżdżeniowej. Tutaj będzie sędzia.
Miałem przyjemność powitać z Strzegom. Dość pieszczotliwie popchnęły mnie trochę do przodu, chyba były zazdrosne o Panią Ewę.
Mam nadzieję, że nikt nie poczuli się na razie go.
Pani Hania z kolejną parą.
Całą przyszłodę. Tutaj nie liczy się start, liczy się czas, ale
Szanowni Państwo, no i teraz zapraszamy na podium. Na miejscu trzecim drużyna polska. Małgorzata Korecka, Robert Kowała, Paweł Warszawski, Jan Kamiński i szef ekipy pan Marcin Kamiński.
In second place, yes, Team Sweden, yes, Sina Aronos, yes, Carolina Ferrari, has been back, and they're Strzegom Fredrik Bergedal. In first place, yes, to win the Nations Cup 2024, Strzegom, the Lotto Nations Cup. Yes, Sebastian at Rebushenville, Kitty Lacey, Randy Cove, and excellent chef meeting and Pierre Blanco.
To jest również drugi przejazd tej pary. Przygotowuje się Zuzanna Kurwowska i Grusz.
So please take your positions on the podium. Great start, yes, well done to Team France. In this Paralympic year.
A więc, Szanowni Państwo, na miejscu trzecim Polska, na miejscu drugim Szwecja, na miejscu pierwszym Francja. Szanowni Państwo, bardzo prosimy o powstanie. Wysłuchajmy hymnu Francji.
Please be upstanding the national anthem of France.
Kończą trasę krosu, a my zapraszamy Krystynę Kopytę i Orbi. Przygotowuje się Laila Lekwa i Gomez. Zapraszamy Lailę Lekwa i Gomez. Przygotowuje się Iga Kawczyńska i Price. Przejazd Laili Lekwa i Gomeza. Zapraszamy Igę Kawczyńską i Price. Przygotowuje się
Yes, I'm very, very congratulating our prize winners. Symphony and the Karolina Kanaska.
To jest czas na gratulacje od Komisji Sędziowskiej. Sokolejka Katarzyna Konarska, delegat techniczny pan Giuseppe Della Chiesa.
The second delegator, the mighty man, Hans Pretoni, the mighty delegator.
Iga Kawczyńska i Price, a my zapraszamy Hannę Kieliszczyk i Wiedźmina.
Teraz czas na nagrody. Nagrodę FEI Międzynarodowej Federacji Jeździeckiej dla zwycięskiego teamu wręczy pani Monika Wielichowska, marszałek Sejmu EP.
So the FEI trophy, prize trophy here, Monika Wielichowska presenting an FEI trophy to Team France.
I zakończyła swój przejazd Hanna Kieliszczyk i Wiedźmin. Zapraszamy Zofię Leśniewską i Kołbę. Przygotowuje się Pola Mucha i Łatka.
Trofeum ze Strzegomskiego granitu dla najlepszej ekipy wręczy przewodniczący organizacyjnego pan Marcin Konarski.
And the Strzegom Granite Trophy going to the second place in Sweden, presented by Marcin Konarski. Strzegom famous the world over for the best granite in the world.
Przygotowuje się Iga Kawczyńska i Price.
Teraz czas na nagrodę dla ekipy, która zajęła miejsce drugie, dla ekipy Szwecji. Ten trofeum wręczy burmistrz Strzegomia, pan Krzysztof pan Marcin Kamiński.
Yes, that excellent winning team, Team France, Celestina Casanova, Freddie, Captain Charles and Marie Bishopville, and the yes, winner individual as well to help secure this trophy. Strzegom, Real Langley, what a round. And the attack there on Nico. Excellent round of the game. And of the French team, Sweden. Tina Arosilius and the lovely Laura L. Carolina Ferrari, Super Mayor, that's the win back of the Yogas. Second and in third, a great effort from Poland, which has managed to over that Gryska, Robert Kubala, Kasper, Kastenio, Albert Sassi, Danny, and again. For a photograph, and the across the world straight away, fantastic photographs here in the Nations Cup here at Strzegom.